The continued collapse of digital publishing isn't surprising to me, and if you've been following my channel for a while, it's probably not surprising to you. Recently, we've seen a whole lot of things fall apart. In fact, some things fall apart faster than we thought they would, including the licensed Kotaku brands in Australia. But more recently, we've had a lot of acquisition companies acquiring each other when it comes to digital publishing, and when it comes to Ziff Davis, they seem to be both a buyer and a seller, or maybe a closer. And as we see from the story here, CNET has moved on, one of the many stops that it has had over the course of its existence. You see, CNET was one of the first digital news sites out there and has been sold to Ziff Davis for a price tag said to be north of 100 million. That's probably still a discount considering how much the site was worth in the past. The site covers tech owned by Red Venture, which acquired it from a company formerly called Viacom CBS in 2020. It was the first in a stream of asset sales since by Paramount Global, kind of ditching out of the things that really weren't anything but a anchor around their corporate ankles. CBS paid 1.8 billion for the site going back to 2008. So the digital media company Red Ventures laid down about 500 million. There's been some pain in digital publishing as giant Meta and Google dominate online advertising, which recently we've seen the stories as of why. They're basically monopolies when it comes to that. But moving on, CNET was founded in 1994, and in 96, it was one of the first internet companies to go public, riding the internet boom. And I guarantee a lot of people made an awful lot of money on it. Publicly traded Ziff Davis owns Mashable and other technology brands, dozens of them, and some of them that they are, well, starting to shut down themselves. If you're interested, you can check out over on That Game Place. We recently did a story on Ziff Davis and their Humble company because they basically shut down the Humble bundle. And again, the story is right up there. But publicly traded Ziff Davis does own a lot of things, from shopping to gaming to internet to connectivity. I mean, they even kind of sell like IP Vanish, believe it or not. So they have health and wellness and cybersecurity and all kinds of other things. It's acquisitive, which means they spend a lot of money acquiring other things. They've spent $3 billion on deals so far, according to its website. And the company's annual revenue is about 1.4 billion. So whatever they're doing it well, or at least putting the increments together in a way that makes them look successful. The New York Times, which first had this story, said that Ziff Davis CEO Vivek Shah says that CNET purchase was part of an ongoing strategy to acquire digital media assets in a challenging time. Well, that's an understatement, if you ask me, considering they seem to have acquired a lot of things that Go Media had and are buyers on a lot of things that it doesn't seem like anybody wants. Shaw, who led the publisher's buyout from Red Ventures, said that while many may be discouraged, he still sees opportunity in online content. Well, sure, if you can get Google out of the way, which the federal government may just be able to do. Well, we'll see. But I don't see any opportunity here. I'm not sure why he would. These are, again, instances of companies who are basically on the downward slide, and there probably isn't much hope of rescuing them. I don't care how smart you are, the expense of keeping something like this going, especially if you want it to remain fresh, is considerable. Even if you do use AI, which a lot of these digital entities are going to have to start doing. Layoffs are always the traditional thing that happens after acquisitions, and it's quite possible that the people that were left over there at CNET may have to be looking for a new job. In fact, I would recommend, if you're one of those people, update your resume. One more note on digital publishing. Not a lot of the entities out there are in the black. They're actually in the red by quite a considerable margin. And these digital entities became nothing more than playthings for venture capital firms and billionaires. And at the end of the day, eventually somebody will wake up and say, I'm tired of losing this much money. Well, I think that time is coming for most of these sites, and I think Go Media is about to get out of the media business, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't think they have Kotaku for very much longer, and I think we start to see even more of these digital publishing IPs going back into holding companies that'll just sit on the name, the brand, and the archive. I mean, makes sense because you can sell that archive now to train AI. And boy, let me tell you, some of the brands that are out there right now to train from will only make AI dumber. But hey, what are your thoughts? Were you still checking out the entity known as CNET? Were you going there for their tech information and their breaking news and their shopping recommendations? Or is it just one of those other websites that just never seemed to go past your radar because it never showed up in a Google search, which is all the more telling as to why maybe they were struggling? In fact, are there any digital outlets that you still go to or rely on the regular, like your first stop shop when you're looking for the latest information on, I don't know, hard drives, video games, any number of other things? What are the best VPNs? I can't even recall the last time I went on an outlet like this, other than when I was doing research for one of the amazing stories that I bring to you as often as I possibly can, up to 3 times a day, actually. On that note, I am interested in what you think. So let me know if you can answer any of those questions I just posed. And let me know if there's any tech site that you can name that you do use regularly that isn't named Google. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.